Hi, welcome to the Infinite Filmmakers Release the Genie Within webcast. My name is Rich Smith. I'm a filmmaker and a spiritual life coach. Today I want to talk about how we create our life. There's a thing in metaphysics called the triune nature of God and man. That's kind of like a threefold system that we use in order to create our life. Actually, it's kind of like in religion, they call it Father, Son, Holy Spirit. In metaphysics, we call it the spirit, soul, and body. In my teachings, the Infinite Filmmaker, I call it the Infinite Filmmaker, the mind of the Infinite Filmmaker, the cast and crew, and the movie of your life. And so I'm going to explain it in three ways. The first way I'm going to explain it is like a garden. If you take a seed and you plant it in a garden, and you give it the right water and sunlight and soil and nurture it, it's going to grow. If you plant an oak tree, an acorn into the soil, it's going to grow into an oak tree. If you plant an apple seed, it's going to grow into an apple tree. And an apple seed is not going to grow into an oak tree. That the seed has within it the potential to become the oak tree. And so it's true with us, that we have within us the potential to become whatever it is that we want to create in our life. And we do that through this triune nature of God and man. And that's what I'm going to explain to you now. So if you can keep in mind that idea of the seed, you plant it in the soil and nourish it, give it the right sunlight, it grows into a plant. Well, the same thing is true for the metaphysical interpretation of that, which is that the soul, the spirit, okay, the spirit feeds information into the soul, and the soul takes that information and creates form out of it. And that's how something becomes manifest from the unmanifest into the manifest world. If you look at it from Hindu religion, that the Bindu point, that's the point where something from the unmanifest comes into the manifest world. They call it the Bindu point. The yantra for that is a circle with a dot in the middle, and that's the point where things become manifest. So I hope you get an idea of what I'm talking about here as far as taking and creating your life out of the unmanifest, that we have access to everything in the universe to create our life. And so we do that using the spirit, soul, and body terminology. And this is going to go really deep. What time is it? 4:03. I hope I have time. I'm going to try to keep these down to 5 to 10 minutes, these webcasts that I do every day, at 4 p.m. So anyways, there's the spirit. That's infinite intelligence, God, divine presence. It knows all, is all, sees all, does all. It takes the information that we feed it and it plants it into this other medium called the soul. Now, the soul is like subconscious, a subconscious mind. It doesn't have any mind of its own. It just takes what the Infinite Filmmaker and creates out of that. It doesn't, it works in perfection. So it takes the seed, let's say we talk about the oak tree, the acorn, takes the seed, and then it's able to nurture that and create out of that the oak tree. Well, in the same way, the Infinite Filmmaker, what I call it, takes the thoughts that we have, and it takes and feeds it to the cast and crew. Now, the cast and crew has no mind of its own. They only know how to do exactly and precisely what the filmmaker wants them to do. They're experts in their field. The casting director will cast the best possible movie, and that's all they do is cast. They know how to cast. Then let's say the set designer builds a set or designs a set that's perfect for this scene, for each scene in this movie, because that's what the set designer does. They build and design sets. So the Infinite Filmmaker feeds this information to its cast and crew. The cast and crew takes up this information, the vision for the movie of the Infinite Filmmaker, and it creates out of that to create the cellulite piece of film that we cast on the wall and watch the movie. Well, that's the same thing that happens in our life. That we take our thoughts, everything that we think about, and we feed that into infinite mind. Infinite mind takes that and creates out of it the form of our movie called life. Now, I don't know how, I'm trying to think of how I can explain this. Oh, here we go. I'll go a little deeper down the rabbit hole with you. Our mind is an individualized aspect of the creator's mind, infinite mind. I call it infinite intelligence. That its mind is individualized as each and every one of our minds. That's why when we think something, that we are thinking into that infinite mind, the infinite filmmaker's mind, takes the ideas that we have, feeds it to the cast and crew, creates the movie of our life. So what does this all mean? It means that you got to be careful of what you think about. You got to be careful of what you act upon, because when you act upon something, you're putting out an energy field that draws that thing to you. And so you got to think about, you got to watch what you think about, act about, talk about, and act upon. And when you do, when you start to focus your attention on exactly what you want, then you'll get that. It has no other choice. The infinite filmmaker doesn't say, well, I'm going to take some thoughts and create out of that, and take other thoughts and push that aside, not create out of that. The infinite filmmaker is all-encompassing. It takes all thought and creates out of that. Now, whether this thought that we put out there comes to bear fruit in our life, comes to become the movie that we want to experience, then that depends on how we, well, one thing it depends upon is our faith, our belief. It was what I call the first assistant director, the Christ, who knew exactly what the infinite filmmaker had in mind for his movie called life, its movie called life. Then the first assistant director said, it's measured according to your beliefs. So that he believed that whatever we believe we can attain, we can achieve. We just have to focus long enough on it and believe in it for it to bear fruit. Now, if you are asking for something that you want to manifest in your life, let's say you're a filmmaker and you want to create, you want to get a new camera, okay? And so you sit there and you think about it and you go, I don't have the money for a camera. Camera I want is really super expensive and I can't afford it, or whatever else gets in the way of you attaining that. Well, the thing is you have to move forward with the belief that you deserve the camera, that you can attain the camera, that there's nothing holding you back from having the camera, that you're working with an unlimited power and presence that's not withholding from you, and that that money and abundance and prosperity is unlimited, and that there's no limit to what you can create for that. And so if you move forward and take action as if you already have the camera, act as if you have, so you may receive. So then you start taking action towards that. God, I'll give you, I don't know if I can give you an example about how I got my camera. Just came to me. Oh, I have something. We were on a film shoot one day and the camera wasn't working. So I had a camera and it wasn't working. And we had the cast and crew there and everybody was like, oh, geez, the camera keeps breaking down, and couldn't get it to work. And finally it broke down. Everybody tried tinkering with it, couldn't get it to work. And I said, wait a second, let's all get together and affirm that this camera is going to work, because it's our highest good. Everybody involved here, it's our highest good to have this camera work so we can get to work and create the movie that we want to create. And so we did. I got everybody to stand together and I did a little treatment over the camera. We started it up and it started working, and it worked the rest of the film. Of course, broke down again later and I had to go in and have it fixed. But the fact is that because we believed in this and because we took action as if, I mean, when I did that treatment for it, it's like everybody was just relieved. The tension and the energy was gone, that the thing wasn't going to work when we went to turn it on. It was like very strange the way it all happened. But anyways, that's what I wanted to put out there is that we're working with an unlimited power and presence. It's working in and as and through us, through our consciousness. And it's not holding back anything from us. And so just keep in mind that you're like the plant, you're like the seed that's planted in the soil and grows the tree. That our thoughts are planted in infinite mind. It takes that, the infinite filmmaker's mind, feeds it to the cast and crew. They create the movie of our life, which is perfect, whole, and complete. And so I hope you enjoyed this broadcast. And please sign up for, subscribe for my YouTube channel below. If you're on Facebook, subscribe to Facebook. And check out my next episode tomorrow, 4 p.m. I'll see you then. Okay, thanks for joining me. Appreciate your time.